3 years ago, I bought my dad his dream car for his birthday, a Ferrari 488 GTB. Here you go. New car.
You just got it for the weekend?
No, I bought it. You go look. And now 3 years later, we're gonna be going for a drive with him and learning everything that he enjoys about the car, hates about the car, what he's enjoyed, the experiences he's had, and everything that has come with owning this car that I bought him for his birthday. And he even made the plate. Thanks, Cam. And we've done a few upgrades, small upgrades, to this car in that time, but we're gonna go over everything that you can expect and a full update on one of the most viral things I've ever done, one of the most viral videos I've ever made, and one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life, being able to buy my dad this car. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I miss this car, man. This thing sounds... Look, there's even a place for you to put the key, literally right here. This thing sounds quite nice. This thing is loud. One of the things that we did is we put an IPE exhaust on this car, and the blue tips, they look nice. But this thing is loud. It's a twin turbo V8, and you can literally see the engine. Absolutely love that. But it's got a nice loud cold start. This thing is looking nice. Very nice. So here I am with my dad in the Ferrari that he claims to drive a lot. How much are you actually driving this car?
Well, in Chicago, it's, you know, obviously not in the winters, not when it's like super cold or literally any moisture on the ground.
Yeah.
But anytime it's, I don't know, 50, 60 degrees or more, I'm taking it out, even if it's just run some errands.
Yeah. So you're driving the car a lot, you say?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, you know, May through the fall, I'm driving it anytime I possibly can, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you know how many miles you put on it?
Not that many, and you know, just probably 3,000 or 4,000, only because I'm not going on like huge drives. I do a lot of just local stuff and running errands, going out to eat, things like that. So nothing too crazy.
Okay. I mean, have you gotten any tickets?
So you got this for me in July of 2022.
2022, yeah.
I think I lasted about 3 or 4 weeks, and I got my first ticket. So,
but only one since, right?
No, it's only that one.
Okay.
So, you know, I feel pretty fortunate.
What do you think is probably the best part of owning this car? What's your favorite part about it? What's the coolest part about it? I mean, when I hopped in this, it's been like at least 6 months since I've seen this car, probably, right?
Yeah.
So when I hopped in, I was like, this thing is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like, my buddy has a 488 that we keep at our house, and I've like been around that, and I've seen that. But this spec is so nice. There's so much carbon, and that was like one of the main things that I wanted, is to like have so much carbon on the car, and just find the highest spec possible. But I'm like, geez, like, this thing is nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part been though?
So I would say a couple different things. One is, I would say, you know, I grew up always kind of liking cars and enjoying cars. Maybe your typical teenage boy. You know, I had, you know, pictures or posters of Ferraris and Lamborghinis on my wall in my room, and you know, I remember always thinking and talking to your friends like, I'm gonna own a Ferrari when I get older. I'm gonna get a Lamborghini, and then then life happens and you realize it's somewhat unattainable usually.
Yeah.
So to literally open up my garage door almost every day and to see this thing sitting there and just the sheer beauty of it, and let alone to be able to get in it and drive it, it's literally like a kid's dream come true. So like I mean it sounds silly, but it's like you have this quote unquote lifelong dream, and I'm getting to live it, and I get to drive this amazing car. So I mean that's one thing. So I mean maybe that's just a little broad, but the other thing that I really like,
just the fact of owning it is my favorite thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And just the opportunity to be able to drive it, and like it's a treat. Like literally every time I get in it, it feels like a treat. It feels like wow, you feel special. You feel like this is I feel lucky, very lucky. So I think, and the other thing, this has to do with you, is like it's just honestly a constant reminder of like how successful you've been. You've come so fast, and like how proud I am of you, and like this is like physical living proof of that it's like it's truly amazing how hard you work and what you've done to reach your success levels. To be able to gift something like this is truly a blessing.
That's cool. And like that's kind of how I treat the McLaren too. Is like every time I drive it, when I have the GT3 RS, that's kind of more of like I drive it because I love driving it, because I love like driving the car, and it's just fun to drive. But then the McLaren is like it's a special treat, and like it's really like a treat and special, and like you can still appreciate it. And I've had that car for almost 4 years now, and done 10,000 miles, so like not that many miles, even though I do film with it a lot and have taken it to Monterey and all these places. It's just really a special treat when I'm able to actually drive it. But what's the worst part? The attention you don't like, the maintenance of it, how low it is. Like what do you not, when you thought owning a Ferrari, like what's the bad part about it?
Oh gosh, honestly that's really hard. I mean, this is kind of silly, but maybe it's like seeing that car sit in the garage in the winter in Chicago. It's like what a waste, kind of like, God, it's just sitting there, and sometimes I'll go and sit in it just to start it up, because you probably should, but just to hear the engine roar, and it's like, oh, I want to drive this thing, and you can't. But I guess there's that. This is what, maybe it's kind of similar. Like, this is such a fun car to drive. It really is. And it's like, it's so fast. It handles amazing. It's so comfortable to drive. Like, as far as like a true like sports car, supercar, it drives amazing. So what I don't like is, especially in the Chicago area, like you can't, I mean, cops are all over the place, and they're gonna, they're looking for you. And this car is just like a beacon, like it's just bright red.
Well, there's not really cars like this around here.
And like, it's not like, I remember driving with you out in Malibu in the canyons, and like that's where you really can experience the joy of and like take full advantage of this car. So to not be able to do that as much, I mean, I'm like, I'm taking on ramps onto the whole highway pretty darn fast. I'm like, I'm trying to get on it whenever I can, but like there's few opportunities, I feel like.
Have you had any crazy reactions to people seeing the car? I mean, like even when we were just starting it up and bringing it out, like I hear a kid yell out of the car driving by, "Oh my God, look at that!" or "Oh my God, it's a Ferrari!" And like it's not that I don't get that in LA, but I don't get it very much, just because there's so many cars like that. You definitely still get it, but like it's a lot more here, I think.
For sure. I mean, it's definitely much more rare to see a car like this around here. So I mean, I don't think there's gotten anything like super crazy, but I think just in general, I think I don't know, maybe it's like a little ego boost or something, but you know, I'm driving along, and a lot of times it's just, you know, teenage boys or whatever. I'm pulling up to a stoplight or whatever, and they're pulling out their phones, and they're, you know, trying to get a picture. They're like, or they're like, other people are like trying to peer in, like, who's driving that car? Is it, you know, an athlete or a sports, you know, kind of thing. So, you know, when we shipped the car down to Miami for that one winter, I drove it on South Beach, and there's lots of cars, you know, like
and a lot of tourists,
and stuff. So people were, I kind of felt like this, like, fancy, what do you call it, you know, movie star or something, because all these people were like snapping pictures of me and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I did pull up to a stop sign, and there were these two kids on their bikes. And this kid just looks at me and he goes, "What color is your Bugatti?" And I just laughed and laughed. But I thought that was great. That was really good.
So gifting a Ferrari, like, it obviously costs money to own and now maintain a Ferrari, and I think me gifting you the Ferrari was enough. How much does it cost you per year to actually maintain it, do oil changes, like just general maintenance? I think you've only taken it in to like truly get
like a full maintenance was once. One time, and I think I want to say it was $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was significantly more than I've ever paid for any other car. For, like, you know, your general oil change, and I had to get the battery swapped out, and a couple other, just, I can't even honestly remember. It's like some minor stuff, but boy, it adds up quick in a Ferrari, for sure.
But $5,000 or $6,000 over 3 years isn't too bad.
No.
And then, like, an oil change maybe once a year for, you know, $1,000 or $1,500.
Right.
I mean, anything you touch on this car is going to cost $1,000.
Right. Yeah.
At minimum.
And, you know, it comes with the territory, and you just got to accept it, and it is what it is, and it's you know, I'm glad to pay it, because you know, I get to own this, drive this.
And the reality is, like, owning supercars, owning race cars is very, very expensive, and that's a whole different story. But owning a supercar, in general, I mean, I'm a little bit skewed on what I feel is expensive and not expensive, but, like, owning a supercar in general is not that expensive. If you treat the car right, if you treat it well, you treat it nicely, you treat it how it's meant to be treated, there should be no reason why you're spending more than a few $1,000s a year. You know, you get a new set of tires are $1,000 a piece. You do that once every 12 to 18 months if you're treating the car like normal, you know. Now when you start to drive it really hard and be really hard on it, it does get more expensive, but that just comes with the territory. So in general, it's not too expensive to maintain, and insurance is a couple $100 a month. You know how much?
Insurance isn't terrible. It's, you know, it's certainly more, but in the scheme of things, it's not too bad.
So any upgrades or mods that we've done since getting the car, the only thing that I can think about is the exhaust.
Which I love, by the way. I think it just sounds so good, that rumble. Oh, it sounds so good.
So we have an IPE cat exhaust, so it still has the cats, it still has like a 200 cell cat pipe, something like that, but it's just the rear section of IPE. So there was no tuning the car, there's no nothing like that. If you want to make it really loud, you can take the cats out and do downpipes, and then you have to tune the car and blah blah blah. That becomes kind of a whole mess, but this is like a nice tasteful amount. And also it's a V8 twin turbo, so it's not like a V12 or like naturally aspirated cars are, like the 458. So the twin turbo V8, just something nice, tasteful. You guys, I'm sure you can hear it in these videos. You can give it a little bit of gas here. A little bit slippery. So yeah, the only real upgrade we've done to it is the exhaust, and you can hear it here, and it sounds great. There's really nothing else you need to do. If it was my car, I would probably lower it a little bit and then do black wheels or some kind of different wheels, and we still might do that, but I don't know.
But yeah, no, I think the exhaust is like, it wouldn't be good if it was too loud, like especially with, I don't know, me, like a middle-aged guy driving it, you know, like, I don't know, I think it's just right.
Yeah, so that's the modifications we've done to it. Now, and around 2022, right around when I bought you this car, you quit your job. And when did you quit your job exactly and become full-time with what we're doing here?
So it was actually March of 23. So a good, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 months after the fact.
So 7 or 8 months after the fact.
I had the idea to do it, you know, a good 6 months before that. So it was right around that time. We're like, all right, you know, maybe we should consider this.
Yeah. And then now we do everything full-time here. It is bumpy on this road. But we do everything full-time, working together now, which is awesome. And we do everything from property management to long-term rentals to everything in real estate from the properties that I bought. And then you've actually been able to buy your own property now too, which has been really cool. So
following the footsteps of your son. So and really kind of pushing me and making me think different about how I invest my money, and just sort of moving into the same opportunities that you found and working on those together. Yeah, I mean, ever since I graduated college, I worked in the corporate environment, working pretty much downtown Chicago, and you know, I've done that for, gosh, 25 to 28 years, something like that. And to not have to deal with that corporate BS anymore is just a godsend.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always had the inkling of trying to do something on my own, but to be able to actually do it and experience it for the last couple of years now, it's boy, I look at some other people that I still keep in touch with, and I think, oh, never in a million years again. I would just never do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Of course, yeah. 3 years later, still have the car, still love the car, still drive it almost every day when it's nice outside. Interior though is lovely. I mean, you have all the carbon on the steering wheel, you have the carbon fiber on the center console thing here, you got the Ferrari there. I mean, the yellow dial too. Everything about this car is just absolutely phenomenal. And when I saw this car and when I had found this car, I was like, this is the one. Like, this is the one for sure. Because I had my brother, who was still living at home at the time, ask you, because he would always just draw cars on the spec thing and like build out cars and stuff. And he had you build out a Ferrari 488. And this was essentially what you had built out, was a red on black with the red sport seats and the red accents and a Ferrari 488. And I literally had found this exact car
all the way across the country.
6 months later, all the way across the country, and I'm like, I need this car, absolutely need this car. It is perfect, and it still is perfect to this day. One interesting thing about the 488 GTB is the tender charger to actually keep the battery from dying is on the rear of the car, right under here. It's literally a little magnet that you plug under there. It's not on the front hood, it's nowhere, but right here. Really interesting. Let's get a startup going on this thing. Not too shabby at all. So I can't come here and not drive this car. Like, I had to give it a little bit of a drive, a little bit of an enjoyment. Like, just not possible to come here, have a Ferrari sitting in the garage, and me just like not want to drive it. We're gonna put this thing in manual, and you know we're going to send it a little bit harder, but we're going to definitely try to avoid tickets, because that would be pretty brutal. I'm literally here for one day because I'm seeing a property that we did a full flip on. I bought this house and we're doing a full renovation on it, and it's going to turn out really, really good, but I've never actually seen it finished. So this is gonna be my first time seeing it finished. and I'm really excited to do that. But this car sounds so good, and this thing is fast. Like, this thing is like my McLaren 620R fast, like McLaren 720S fast. Like, I worry about my dad driving this car sometimes, but being able to give him this car was seriously the coolest, I would say the coolest experience I've ever had in my entire life. Like, actually probably the coolest thing I've ever been able to do. The feeling of giving back and the feeling of being able to give him something like this and provide something like this is seriously the coolest feeling I think I've ever experienced in my life. Like, I don't think there's anything that can top that. I mean, buying my dad a Bugatti, maybe that's next. Buying my parents a house, like, I don't know, but there's nothing better than the fact of being able to, first of all, take your dad out of his job after working a corporate job for over 20 years now, and being able to take him out of that and put him into the life of entrepreneurship and being able to work for himself. And I mean, he literally makes money on the internet through faceless channels. Like, that is how he makes money, and then he manages all of my properties, and we built out an entire management company that he also makes money from. And like, if my literal dad can do it, there's no reason that you can't do it too and be able to build a personal brand. It's the coolest feeling in the world, being able to provide that to your parents and being able to show them, like, hey, there's this new age. And of course, at first they were really skeptical. Like, before I had made any money, and when I was just like trying to figure it out and trying to like make a name for myself, and like, they were really skeptical. Like, I don't want to say that they didn't believe in me, but they were definitely really skeptical. Let's get on it. Oh my gosh. This thing goes, man. This thing goes. Wow. That is fun, man. That is really fun. This thing is zooming. Now I'm trying to convince him to bring this car out in the winter and bring it to either LA or Miami or whatever. Wow. This car is so much fun. And like, the fact that my dad gets to enjoy this car, and I'm posting all these cool cars and all these crazy cars, and he can come home and enjoy his own car and be able to work for himself and be his own boss and do everything, it is a dream come true. And if this isn't enough motivation for you to get out of your comfort zone and start, I really don't know what is. Like, I really don't know what else to tell you. Like, I'm sorry, but you're useless if this isn't enough for you to be like, I want better for myself and I want better for my life. It's such a freeing feeling, and the coolest thing to own and drive cars, and especially to be able to drive a supercar in the town that I grew up in. I don't come here very much. There's really not much here for me. All my friends and everything are in Miami. They're in Los Angeles. Like, everything that I own is all over the place. So like, there's really isn't any reason for me to be here, except for the fact of coming to see my parents. But I get to see them a lot all over the country, honestly, because I have, not to sound pretentious, but I have places kind of all over the country, and I'm able to meet them there in better weather and more fun cities and things like that. So it's the coolest thing ever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a lot and got to see an update on where the Ferrari's been at and how my dad has enjoyed the car. If you haven't already, go click the link in the description. We have a completely free community, and you guys can learn for absolutely free how to build your own personal brand, how to make money online, and how to do essentially what I've done over the last 5 years and been able to build a multi-million-dollar real estate empire, buy my dad his car, teach my dad to quit his job and become an entrepreneur, work for himself, and make money online. You guys can all do it too, and I have a completely free community. Click the link in the description. You guys can check it out. And yeah, I'm giving away everything here for free. So I hope you guys enjoy, and remember, just don't quit.